So where have I been? That's a very good question. It has been 6 months. Actually, it's probably more like a year since I uploaded regularly to this channel. So welcome to MoggyBoxCraft. I'm Deborah, and today I wanted to share with you what's been happening, where I've been, what's hopefully going to be happening in the future. So where do we even start with this? Oh God, I have written so many notes for this. So I guess we should probably start at the beginning, whilst when I stopped uploading, and go through a calendar timeline and see how we got to today. So Andy proposed on the 20th of February 2020. Is that right? Was it really that long ago? My word. So we were in the middle of lockdown. Happy days. I thought I would have loads of time to plan a wedding and it wouldn't even be that hard. How wrong I was, but we shall get on to that in a little while. It was also about this time that I thought, yes, I am going to fill my time with more things that I'd like to have done, or more things I'd like to do, by trying to relearn how to play the trumpet. Hadn't played since school, like 20 years ago. God, it's a long time as well. But I always kind of wondered, was I actually any good at that? It's a bit of a spoiler, but no, I'm still pretty crap. But regardless, this seemed like the perfect opportunity to relearn. So I went online and I got myself an online tutor, Ollie. So he has been giving me online lessons for the best part of 1.5 years now. God, nearly 2 years. No, it'll be 1.5 years. So I ordered myself those pea trumpets. I think they're like £99. Basically marketed as student instruments. So they're pretty cheap and cheerful, but they do make a reasonable sound. The buttons do sound a bit... I don't even know how to describe it. Let me go and get it and I'll just show you. So here is the pea trumpet I bought. Can you hear this? It does make a bizarre noise, doesn't it? I'm not going to play right now either because I've got lipstick on and I don't need to make a complete mess of my makeup while I'm filming this for you guys. It's a great wee instrument in some ways. I had a lot of problems with the valves sticking. Little side note for you if anyone's thinking of getting one of these. Yeah, it was fine, but yeah, the valves did stick. They sound like... It's not a great sound, is it? But regardless, I just thought it was a great option to make sure I didn't spend too much money in case it wasn't something I want to continue after getting a few lessons. Turns out I did, and I do. And it very quickly became apparent that to get good at playing, you need to put the practice in. In fact, that's how you impress other musicians, apparently. Practice. Who knew? Not that I'm impressing anybody. I am still thoroughly terrible at it. But I'm enjoying it, so I think that's the main thing, isn't it? So yeah, that just seemed to take up more and more time. And of course, as lockdown eased and I went back to work, there was even less time for videos and editing, because we all know editing a video, well, for me anyway, it takes an absolute age to get anything edited. Everything just got really busy. Just trying to catch up with friends and family and try and sneak away on holidays and yeah, go to concerts or theatre productions and, you know, support the arts. Well, maybe while I thought I had money. And of course, wedding prep. Now, me and Andy, we love an event, we love planning. But yeah, the wedding prep definitely took longer, far longer than I had ever anticipated, which I know in hindsight seems ridiculous. Everyone tells you there's going to be loads to do. But there was definitely more than I thought there would be. Most weekends, me and Andy were just picking away at the little details, like figuring out centerpieces or making the invites. However, it's only now I can really appreciate how much effort we put in to start with that. Because as the wedding approached and got closer, it meant everything just ran really smoothly. We weren't worried about anything and we could just kind of enjoy it. So I'm really glad we did that. But it's amazing how time does just get filled with all these little things. I mean, you just can't do it all, can you? And yes, for our wedding favours, we made cider. So we did rhubarb and custard, forest fruits, traditional apple, and toffee apple cider. I think we made over 100 bottles. So that was fairly time consuming. But good, because I found some really good new flavourings by the Foodie Flavour Company. Oh, they're so good. That rhubarb and custard. Ah, yum. So good. So at some point I made a decision to prioritise the most important things that I needed to do, or wanted to do, I guess, and not be hard on myself for choosing those things and just making sure I did those things to the best of my abilities. You just can't do all of it, all the stuff all the time. And if you can, then there must be a way to clone yourself or something, because I can't fit it all in. Because you can't do it all, because that's just a recipe for burnout. And winter is already a season that I struggle with. Good old seasonal affective disorder. If it wasn't for that light box every morning, I do not actually know how I would get out of bed. You'd think this, well, this happens to me every year, so you'd think I would see the signs come in, but I never do. Like, I can say it all I want, but it's nearly like October hits and, well, it's November, and I just slowly descend into this abyss of like lethargy and tiredness. And then sometime around sort of February, March time, it's like, do you know, that Dolby sound effect, like, wah! It kind of comes and it's just this wave of waking back up again when spring reappears in the lighter nights and the lighter mornings. I don't even know how to describe it. I know it's coming, can't do anything about it. So winter is always a little bit of a testing time for any kind of productivity. So this year in January, I thought, I'm going to break the cycle, I'm going to get out there and do something. So I joined a band. And it was like a trial by fire. I haven't played in the band for 20 years. Couldn't hear myself think, didn't know the music. It was really terrible. However, I had a really lovely time and the people were really lovely, and it did make me want to practice more. So I have continued going to band practice most weeks. Some weeks we don't make it because life. However, I'm enjoying it and I think that's all that matters. Surely it's good to have extra hobbies, is it not? So anyway, in February, me and Andy made it over to Tenerife for a very welcome week of sunshine. It's been quite a while since we got on holiday with everything going on. But it was during this time I had an interesting message on Instagram. Hi, my name's Will. I'm an assistant producer at the Beechgrove Garden. We've come across some of your content and wondered if you'd consider being a beach grower this year on the Beechgrove. Now, for some reason, in my head I thought, oh, that's a very elaborate scam, is it not? So I didn't do anything about it until I showed the message to Andy and he was just like, I don't think that's a scam. Right enough, it would be quite an elaborate scam, wouldn't it? What would they be getting out of it? I don't know. Anyway, so I just thought, oh, well, I'll give my wee text back then. Where's the harem? Yeah, turns out totally legit. And that's where my Beechgrove garden journey stemmed from, I guess. I have never seen my mum more proud. So it was all worth it. I mean, who'd honestly have thought that BBC's Beechgrove garden would get in touch with me? Not I. But I'm very grateful. And yes, a few of you did spot my cameos and appearances on the Beechgrove, but don't worry if you didn't, because the entire series is on the BBC iPlayer and you can catch me on episodes 5, 12, and I was actually asked to co-host episode 18 with Carol from my garden. Had such a good day. It was so much fun. I just honestly had the best time filming with them all. The team is great, just really funny, we just laughed the whole day. And just made it really easy to work. They were just really easy to work with. And Carol is lovely and so personable in real life. So it was an absolute joy to film with them. So of course you can't have great joy without great sadness, it seems. There's got to be ups and there's got to be downs in life. So I'm sure if some of you have seen any of my other videos, you will have seen the doggos, Pele and Chico. Chico's our black lab. I've had him since he was 18 months old. And Pearl, that we adopted when he was 6.5 in January 2017. And yeah, when we took him on, we knew he was pretty broken and we knew he had a lot of ailments. So after an initial visit with a vet and some very expensive x-rays, they really canned it with us, which was appreciated. And we're basically told, look, he's got really bad hip dysplasia, arthritis. You're looking at between 1 year and 2 years before his legs are possibly too bad and you're going to have to look at saying goodbye to him. So I just thought, well, we are going to give this dog the best 2 years of his life. So needless to say, That 2 years ended up being 5.5 years. And mainly I suspect to the weekly hydrotherapy sessions, all the good drugs, the tramadol, the gabapentin, the supplements, the monthly injections for his nerve pain, and everything else. Pretty sure he was actually just bleeding this dry. And to be fair, I wouldn't change a thing. God, it's so much harder. So at the start of the year, he started to really deteriorate. He could no longer get up the stairs, so every night Andy would carry him up the stairs so he could sleep in the same room as us. And that kind of deteriorated into more like he couldn't get down the stairs safely by himself, so I started sleeping downstairs with the dogs because I couldn't bear to wake up in the middle of the night and have him cry at the bottom of the stairs wanting to be with us. And walking just got less and less. Just wasn't quite as able anymore. I think we were literally just going round the block, like a 5-minute walk that would take 20 because, oh my gosh, I swear, it felt like sometimes we were going backwards, it was so slow. And yes, he did make his cameo on Beach Grove Gardens. He was in my VT video and of course my first video that I filmed for them. But a week before filming my second appearance on Beach Grove, he took a turn and it was nearly like his back legs just stopped working. It's like, do you know when you've done so much exercise and the muscles just stop working and your legs are like jelly? That's what it kind of looked like. So we'd one final week to say our goodbyes, but also make sure we were doing the right thing. Like I want to give him every opportunity to see if he might recover. He didn't. And you don't want him to suffer either. So 2 days before his 12th birthday, we said goodbye. God, I have to go get a tissue. Right, 2 minutes. I have to go get a tissue, I can't do this. So 2 days before what would have been his 12th birthday, the vet came to the house. The vet and the assistant couldn't have been lovelier. And we wanted to say goodbye at home. And I think it was as peaceful as it could have been, surrounded by me and Andy and Chico with his favourite toys and his favourite bed, and the wood burner was on, and it was lovely and peaceful. I also wanted us all to be together because I wanted Chico to know where he'd gone. I didn't want Chico just to be like, oh, he's just disappeared someday and that's that, where's he gone? Whether the dog, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but surely they're a living being, so they must. I'd like to think he'd known he'd passed on, but it seemed like the right thing to do, so it was the right thing to do for us. I know it was his time, but I think my heart is still broken. I actually cried so much that I actually gave myself a blister in my eye. Didn't even know that was possible. It looked like a tiny little jellyfish had invaded the corner of my eye. Yeah, apparently that was from rubbing my eye so much. That was fun. So if you take anything from this, go on that adventure. Say yes to opportunities. Go for that walk. Do the thing. Say yes. Take the photos. Because one day you'll wake up and it's too late and you didn't even know it was your last adventure or your last opportunity to do that thing. So take the photos, treasure those memories, because life is short. So live every day like it's your last. But for Christ's sake, brush your teeth, pay your bills, just in case you live till you're 104. Wow, do I look just an absolute mess? Yeah, I do, sorry about that. I think that's why I've been putting off filming this video for such a long time. It's been 5 months since he passed now. It's still hard. I think grief to me is like, it's always going to be there. It's that big empty space and it doesn't go away. It just doesn't. You just kind of fill the area around it with other things to nearly disguise it or soften the edges, but it's still there. And every now and again it crops up and something happens that you just weren't quite expecting. bring up those memories, or it gets easier. And yeah, he might have been just a dog, but he was family. Thankfully I've got Andy and some amazing friends and family around, and I think a week afterwards I had my way henny to Turkey, and it was certainly a welcome break, for lack of a better description, especially from the eye blister. Gosh, that was terrible. It was definitely a fabulous reminder to celebrate all the things you can and enjoy seeing people and doing things and making memories. Right, I think I need a minute. So all that being said, in between all this, we've also been rebuilding our shed. Kinda. The roof leaked, the front was all damp and rotten, so we can't really store anything in there. You can't really use it for too much. I mean, yeah, we have people over and we can drink in it and stuff, but that's about the height of it. So before we lost the shed completely, we decided to get a builder over, rip out the internal walls and see if we could salvage any of it. And thankfully, we could. We've pretty much managed to use all the existing structure. We've just had to replace the entire front of it and the roof. So we've managed to heighten that as well a little bit. It's finally finished. I think it got finished last month in September. So we finally have a usable space that is completely free of damp, so that we can have people stay over, although there's no toilet or running water in there or facilities, but at least they can stay over. I can store things in it, maybe I can film there. And yeah, it's been a bit of a mad rush as well to sort of paint the exterior to protect it from the winter weather coming. So on top of all that, Andy decided that he would quite like a career change and has been retraining as a tree surgeon. Looking at the state of Britain today, my theory was I might as well get a wood burner installed, because how else am I going to heat my house? If he's going to be able to chop wood, I might as well be able to use it. We have a pretty old house, so we already have chimneys. So in the living room, we've just had one of them reinstated. So hopefully we'll be able to stay warm this winter, even if it's just one room, because wow, Britain. Oh, at the time of filming this, it's a bit of a mess, needless to say. And like I'd mentioned earlier, never-ending wedding planning throughout. We got married in September, surrounded by friends and family, and honestly it was the best day ever. It was the best weekend. It was more than I could ever have imagined. It was everything. So now the dust has settled, we are married, we have a wood burner to try and stay warm this winter. The shed is completed, so we can store lots of fruit and veg and homebrew cider. Beach Grove filming is done for the year, and the garden is finally winding down. I feel like I've got a little bit more time to breathe and maybe get back to doing a few things that I'd like to do. I mean, the garden still does need a tidy, and we're a week away from Halloween and I still haven't made a costume or decorated for Halloween for that matter, but nevertheless, hopefully there can be a bit more semblance of normality again. And I'm still regularly practicing trumpet and cornet. I could be practicing more, but couldn't we all? And Chico's doing great. He's 12 and a half now. Does he miss Pal? No, not really. I don't think he does anyway. I miss Pelly a lot still. Only now I look back and realise how time consuming or all consuming his care was, especially in those final months. I would not change a minute of it. I would do it all again and more. Will we be taking on any more companion animals in the future? Probably. We don't plan to adopt any animals anytime soon. I don't think it would be fair on Chico. However, who knows what will happen in the future? I'm sure the right friend will come along that we can help give a home to. So what now? It's time to do some prioritising. I plan to prioritise my husband. It seems really weird to say already. My business, my friends, my family, Chico. Continue learning and practicing trumpet or cornet. But I do really miss filming. And I never thought I'd say it, but editing as well. Yeah, I have a lot of projects planned, although I am not going to promise weekly uploads because I think that's a little bit unrealistic at the moment. I will endeavour to upload weekly. However, if not weekly, maybe fortnightly, monthly at a push. I would much rather promise to share content I've enjoyed filming and not film just for the sake of it. I think if this year has taught me anything, it is do the things you love. See the people you love. Take every opportunity you can. And don't be too hard on yourself. Just do one thing at a time and do it to the best of your abilities. You know, just know it's okay to breathe every now and again. Don't get overwhelmed by everything. Or try not to get overwhelmed by everything. And do what's right for you and not what other people think is right for you. I suppose the best piece of advice I've heard recently is this. Life is a bit like going on a train journey. You go on the train, you get to the destination, get off, have a nice holiday there. Whether it's have a cry, relax, chill, whatever. But for Christ's sake, don't unpack and live there. Get that suitcase back on that train and carry on with that journey, because there's a whole lot more to see out there. So here's to the next chapter and hopefully some more regular content. So if you've enjoyed this video, leave a like, leave a comment, share and subscribe. Of course, subscribing is optional, but it is very much appreciated. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!